Hey guys, Good Channel Gaming here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install Windows 7 or basically any other operating system on VirtualBox. Now if you don't know what VirtualBox is basically a little application that allows you to emulate other OSs like Windows and Linux and basically other OSs. I personally use it for malware since I don't have an official malware or an antivirus. So I just use that. I just download all my stuff that I kind of feel a little fishy or on fishy websites. I just use it on the virtual machine, and just so nothing happens to my personal or the real computer. That's just something like a little precaution that I take. So if you are another one, because it took like maybe a year for me to find out how this works. So if you're one of those people who just can't really find out like me how to get a virtual machine working, this video will probably make it a lot easier. So first thing first, you're gonna have to go to virtualbox.org. So I think you're gonna be in the about section when you actually go in here. You're gonna click downloads on the side. And I personally use I use 5.2 VirtualBox 5.2.36. That's what I use. Now if your CPU has virtualization, it's like a little thing that allows an application to use more than one core. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to go Control-Alt-Delete, Task Manager, and you're gonna go through here. And you're gonna select on your CPU, and as you can see, my virtualization is disabled right now because I can't find a way to enable it in my BIOS. So yeah, I don't know, I just can't find a way to enable it. So I'm stuck with one core. So yeah, like I said, if you don't have virtualization, use VirtualBox 5.2 or before, and if you do have virtualization, use 6.0 and above. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna download it. It's gonna be an installer, and then you're gonna have Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. I already have Windows XP and Windows 7 installed because this is what I did. I'm gonna make another one just for this video. So you're gonna be in this mode originally. So you're gonna just type anything you want, but I just like to call it Windows 7. Those 7 for vid. So if you wanna, you can check your amount of RAM that you have in Task Manager like earlier. Go to your memory, you can see how much you have. And just check your available amount of RAM, because if you put more than you have available, the virtual machine will use more than have available and likely cause your system to crash. Just always use the maximum half of your system memory, maximum. So if you want to change that, you need to go in expert mode, and I'm just going to type Windows 7 for vid. You'll see it automatically defaults to Windows 7 32-bit, but if you have virtualization enabled, then you can actually get a 64-bit version, which allows you to go above 4 gigabytes of RAM. So memory size, you can put it up to, well, since I my virtualization off, I can only put it up to 4, I think. I'm just gonna put it to 3. I'm just gonna put it to a nice 2 gigabytes of RAM. And what you want to do is, if you're doing this for the first time, or if you don't have any other virtual machines installed, and if you don't have any other virtual hard drives, you're going to want to click this option, Create Virtual Hard Disks Now. You click Create, make sure you got everything good. I'm just going to click Create. Now my location is there. I'm just going to quickly go and set my location. So I went and set my location. Just for this video, since I don't want to take it too long to make a hard drive, I'm just gonna put it to 20 gigabytes, like so. 20 gigabytes will be enough. Now, I recommend you just stick with VirtualBox Disk Image. This one is the one that's natively supported. I like to put it fixed size because sometimes dynamically allocated has actually worse transfer speeds. But if you don't know what dynamically allocated is, it basically starts from 0 and it works its way up. And you can actually put a limit of how much it goes up. It won't shrink anymore. This is, yeah, so it just goes up, and then once you delete stuff, it won't shrink. It'll just fill up until what you need. I like to have it fixed because it always just stays at 20 gigabytes. It doesn't change my hard drive. I'm just gonna do a fixed size. And it's gonna take a little bit to like create the hard drive because it's a fixed one and not dynamically allocated. When it's dynamically allocated, like I said, it just takes up no space unless you put stuff on it. I just like to have it fixed. And it's going to be creating the hard drive right now. And I'll be back after this is done creating. Now as you can see, this is almost done installing. Boom. Okay. So you should see that you have Windows 7 for a vid. I'm just gonna do details. Right here. You're gonna go into your settings. This is an important part. You're gonna want to go to System. This is really important, okay? This is gonna be really important. You'd want to disable floppy and enable network, because floppy, or at least my case, the floppy disk reader, for some reason this crashes the whole entire VirtualBox for me. So since I think Windows 7 doesn't support floppy disk anymore, obviously. It's old. It's probably not gonna work. So the order that I like to have it is I like to have the hard disk first, optical. These are like the boot orders. Hard disk, optical, and my network. And you want to make sure that network is enabled. Now since I don't have virtualization on, processors will be limited to 1 core. That's because I have 8 cores, but it's only limiting to 1 because they can't use the rest of the CPU. So, here's another important part. If you want to check your video around, just go to Windows button and R, and you want to click DX diag, which is going to bring up the DirectX setting menu if you have DirectX installed. And you're going to go to your system, I forgot what it was, but just look through the top folders and you're going to see your video memory. Now I have 8 gigabytes of video memory. So we're going to enable 3D acceleration, which is going to allow us to put this all the way up. So this is 3D acceleration. Normally you're limited to 128 megabytes of video memory, but since I have the acceleration on, I can put it to 256. Monitor count you can choose. I only have one monitor, so I'm just going to leave it on 1. Scale. Now here's the important part. You're going to want to go to your storage, and you're going to go through your files and find your ISO installer. If you don't have one, I suggest you going and out and buy one. I'm not going to tell you exactly where to download one, because that's kind of piracy. So I'm not going to go to where to download one, but you can buy one, I think, on Amazon or eBay. That's the last place I saw it. Now select your ISO, and once you selected your ISO, you're basically good to go. You're going to make sure that general. Oh, and also here you can like drag and drop. You can also encrypt your disk. These are some of the options that you have. So in my case, that's all. I just need to click OK. Automatically saved. If you want USB support and drag and drop and stuff like that, disk encryption, you're gonna want to go and download the expansion pack on their website. You can find it, not that hard. And right here, Windows 7 for a vid. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to start up here. I want to do this. I'm gonna make it full screen like that a little bit. It's gonna automatically boot into setup in our ISO. Or into our disk image. So, it's gonna start Windows. I'll be back when the setup actually starts. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot. Can't pause stuff like that. It's gonna start Windows and stuff like that. It's gonna just do stuff. Oh, there. Okay. Right here, language to install. I'm just gonna check something real quick. This is so weird. There. It's recording. It's recording. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do language to install English, because this is where I live. Not in England, in the United States, but you get it, language. And you're just gonna do install now. Tap is starting. And what it's gonna do from here, it's gonna copy it to your hard drive, which I selected 20 gigabytes. But you can select as much as you want, obviously not to fill up your disk. But this one is, I accept the terms. Updates, you get it. 7 Ultimate. Custom. You're gonna wanna do custom if you don't have a hard drive that you did before. You're gonna select disk 0 unallocated space. I'm gonna click next. You should see that it's copying your Windows files, and I'll be back when other stuff happens. So, it's expanding the Windows files and everything, and if you really want to go out of this menu, if you want to go out of the virtualization, the virtual machine, what you can do is you're gonna click Control, your right Control, depending on your version. Click Control, and then you have free access to do whatever you want. Basically, just like that. Yeah. You have free access to do whatever you want. But I'm gonna be capturing it again. Capture, cancel, and this will all work. See? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna capture our device, just like so. Capture. So what it does, it just captures our mouse and everything. It captures our keyboard so we can actually type on it and do stuff, instead of just letting it stay like that. Yep. Now here's kind of where some of the boring stuff happened, because it's installing updates. Oh, there, it's already done. But probably if you have an old version of an ISO like me, and a really old version of it, then you're probably gonna have a lot of updates. So it's gonna try to restart. I'm just gonna restart it manually. And it's gonna automatically boot. I believe into setup. It's gonna start Windows. Starting Windows. Just gonna do this. Yup. It's gonna do capture. So see, it's updating registry settings. I'm just gonna do this on the first time you set it up. It's gonna do all this. Don't worry, nothing's wrong happening. It's all meant to be. Thing registry, and I'll be back once it actually. Oh, never mind. Step is starting services, and there's a few more steps that we're gonna go through. They require probably a little bit more work. A little bit. Installation. At this point, your Windows is almost completely done, but we have a few more steps to do after this. I'm gonna be back after this completes installation. As the setup will continue after restarting your computer. It will restart automatically. That's why I said to disable your floppy disk, because otherwise it would crash right here where it said Oracle VM. It would crash when it's starting Windows. This is gonna start Windows, and here's gonna come our first time setup. So here you're gonna need a product key and other things that I'm gonna be showing you. I'm not gonna be telling you where to get the product keys, because if I were to tell you where and without even buying them, that would be considered piracy. So this, you can buy, like, I think a product key on Amazon, or you can buy one. Just make sure you don't pirate one. starting Windows. And it's gonna say setup is preparing your computer for first time use. Cancel. So yeah, I'm gonna be back when it says product keys and everything. So we are back after the setup, and it's gonna say setup Windows. So this is where kind of like the more important stuff. I'm not gonna tell exactly what to do because this is where your preferences come in. So type a username, like for example John. I'm gonna put YouTube. Oh, God. Remember to always have captcha on, and you're gonna do YouTube because tubs are good. Okay, I don't know where I was going with that one. And here you have ease of access. So just gonna click next. Next. So this is recommended like they say, but you don't have to. But this is a lot better for security if you have other people and if you have a brother that really wants to get into your computer. So you're gonna type a password. I'm not gonna. Just to reduce setup time. And here is where the tricky part comes in. They're gonna have to go buy a product key. So here's what the product key looks like. 5-row number right here. And that should be added automatically. Once you buy one, you're just gonna put any number like I'm gonna have now. It's already did it next, so I didn't activate it. I only have 30 days left. So this is what I really want you to do is like recommended. I recommend you doing updates, but since I don't want this to take forever, I'm just gonna do ask me later. It's gonna be next home network. If you're doing this off, I don't know why I'd be doing this at work, but if you're gonna have a virtual machine at work for something, then you're gonna select work. Windows 7 Ultimate is finalizing your settings. And welcome. Now, you may think that's it, right? Because you can go desktop, go download Chrome using Internet Explorer, and forget about Internet Explorer forever. But that's not what we're gonna be doing. First, what we're gonna be doing is we have one last step just to make the user experience a little bit better. Preparing our desktop. And this one is actually included in your VirtualBox. You don't have to go and get more. It's just an installer. To see we're on Windows 7. This is legit. Right here. This is real. This isn't fake. Security. Obviously I did not activate Windows because we didn't do activation. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna at the bottom here you're gonna right click on the disk and you're gonna do remove disk from virtual drive. You're gonna hit that, and then you're gonna click on the disk again or right click it, and then what I'm gonna have to do is you're gonna go to where you installed VirtualBox in the first place, like not the Windows hard drive, but the actual application. You're gonna go into the directory and you're gonna have to find a file called VBox Guest Editions ISO file, disk image file. And you're gonna click it, and look what's gonna happen to our screen. It should pop up. Works just fine. And see, we got this C drive, VirtualBox Guest. I always do this for software and games. I'm just gonna leave it on off. So you're gonna run VirtualBox Guest Editions. This is actually gonna allow you to like drag and drop files, encrypt your hard drive, and other thing like USB support, shared clipboard, and stuff like that. So a lot of cool features. So you're just gonna check your destination folder. Remember that this is not on your real computer, it's just installing to the virtual hard drive that we made before. When it requires 700 kilobytes, just we're gonna click next, next, install. And I'm just gonna do always trust software, install. Gonna install some drivers on your virtual machine. It won't take that long, it'll take a little bit, but it'll be done in no time. And also VirtualBox Guest Editions also has another little neat feature. You can actually, like the desktop will actually become full screen instead of being this little square. So actually know what your screen resolution is and it'll automatically adjust. So this is your choice. I'm not going to tell you what to do here because this one is just your choice. You can either reboot now, so it's going to apply the changes like full screen and other stuff right now, or you can reboot later. So then what you can do is you can go and install Chrome and other stuff, and then you can reboot and get your full screen. But I'm just going to do reboot now. Once that's going to do, it's going to restart our virtual machine. And that is going to apply our changes. And I'm going to be back after this is done. And see, we're starting up Windows again. Right here. We're going to capture it. Capture. And this is the last step. This is what we just did right now. It's going to install some stuff. And are you ready? Look what's gonna happen. One goes and welcome. Yep. There. Now you have everything on here. You can go Internet Explorer, browse the internet, go download Chrome, because what are we even going to use Internet Explorer for now? And you can go download like Brave browser or any other browsing software. It's basically another computer. And we still have a few more tips to show you. So if you want full screen, you can just do full screen mode, which will do this, which will make it full screen. If you want to go back, you know, let's go right here, click this button. Here you can adjust anything you want in here. Right here. So I'm just gonna be shutting this down. That's it, shut down. And later it might ask you to go install updates and things like that. Just for things that it wants you to do. So anyways guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, and if you really want me to, just leave a comment. And I could do actually an installation guide for Windows XP, Windows 95, Windows 98, any other operating system. Just make sure it's not Linux, because I don't know how to install Linux. But just make sure it's Windows. And yeah, that's it really. Enjoy your Windows 7 machine. And if you really want to change it later, you can always go and change it. Like your base memory, you can always go and make a new hard drive, which will actually make you can have more space, but you need to reinstall it again. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, tell me for other OSs. Thank you all for watching, and bye!